Okay, so we'll get into the 2019 paper now. 2019 paper says use a 45-degree diagram to illustrate macroeconomic equilibrium. In your diagram, show the aggregate expenditure function and the equilibrium level of national income. You know, guys, they're asking you to draw the diagram now. Right? So draw the diagram. Okay. So now here you don't have to draw it on a graph paper because there is no calculation. Is there some connecting? No, there is no calculation. So there is no particular equilibrium level of national income value for you to show. No. So then you don't need a scale or anything. And you're just drawing the graph. So properly label, right? What's how I have they mentioned in the question to is there a previous question to this case? Are there numbers? So use a diagram to illustrate macroeconomic equilibrium. In your diagram, show the aggregate expenditure function at the equilibrium level of national income. There is no number. Now, if they say, for example, if let's say you do a calculation, right, you find the equilibrium level of national income, and the next question says illustrate this equilibrium in a diagram. Now you have to use a graph paper, right? You have to find properly where the consumption function starts, the autonomous consumption, the equilibrium properly, then you have to do that. But here there are no numbers to show. There is no equilibrium number, there is no consumption function, autonomous part, there is nothing like that. So therefore, you don't have to draw it on a graph paper. Okay. So remember, whenever something requires like a proper scale and all, you have to draw it on a graph. So this is your expenditure axis. Right? Look how I label. Now remember guys, when they give you 4 marks to draw a diagram, they are very strict, okay? You have to label everything properly. This is the expenditure axis. So you can even be longer. You can say this is expenditure, write it in detail, rather than just saying E. This is 0. This is your output, Y. This is your, now they are saying use a 45 line diagram. So if you have like a protractor or something, okay, properly divide this from the middle. Okay, properly from the middle. If that is the 45-degree line. Show that. Then this is called the Y equals E line. Then you have show the aggregate expenditure function. Here, this is your aggregate expenditure function. So this is your expenditure. And you also have to write the components of it. That's what telling you to show the function for this thing. So you can say this is consumption plus investment plus government spending plus net exports. You have shown that. Then you can show, look here, this is equilibrium. This is the equilibrium level of national income. You also can say this is also equal to this if you want, right? Because this number and this number has to be the same, no? Because you are drawing a 45-degree line with the same scale, no? So this number, you don't even have to show the horizontal thing, but if they have shown the vertical thing, it's sorry, if you have shown this, it's okay. If they ask for the line of equality, should we draw that? Line of equality in the sense? No, not needed. You don't have to. So in your level, they will not require you to draw. You are talking about Gini coefficient and Lorentz curve, right? I don't think they'll come at your level. They'll come ask you all to draw a Gini coefficient, the Lorentz curve. Okay. So this is y equals e. Oh yeah, y equals e. No, you don't have to. You're talking about this one, the y equals e equality. So it doesn't have to always be a graph paper. As long as you've taken 45 degrees, it should be okay. So if you've taken from the 45-degree thing, you should be fine. Maybe have a protractor with you. So just measure. You have a ruler and a straight line. Measure 45 degrees and should be okay. It's something that the question could be taken from 2013 or 2023. There's nothing like that. There is nothing like that. They will take it from 2013 to 2020, and they're not going to take it from one full paper also. I don't know if anyone gave you that nonsense, but nothing like that. Okay. Right. So that is your 4-mark question for showing the equilibrium. Yeah. Then we'll go into part 4. Calculation, calculation, calculation. That is 2020, 2019. Suppose in a hypothetical economy, marginal propensity to consume is 0.9, and the gross national when the gross national disposable income is 0, aggregate consumption is 100. They are using big words. What are they saying? They are saying autonomous consumption is 100. Then the gross national disposable income, we forget about gross national, they are talking about disposable income. When disposable income is 0, consumption is 100. That is autonomous consumption. Assume that investment is 200, government purchases are 45, net exports is 0, and taxes are 50. Find the equilibrium level of gross national income. In other words, find the equilibrium level of income. So can we quickly do this, guys, now? Y equals E. Y is equal to C plus I plus G plus net exports. C is what? 100 plus 0.9 YD. 0.9 YD, not Y. How do I get the 100? Here autonomous, here MPC. I combine the two, made the consumption function. Investment, they have said this 200. Government purchases, they have said this 45. Net exports are 0. So then add all the numbers, 100, 245, it's 345. 345 plus 0.9 YD. You have to convert the YD into Y. So 345, now I'll skip a few steps, guys. 0.9 Y. How much is the taxes? There are no transfers now. So only 50. The taxes are 50. Since YD is 0, can we skip the Y? No, that is not what they are saying. Read the question carefully. They are not saying YD is 0. They are saying when the gross national disposable income is 0, aggregate consumption is 0. That is the autonomous consumption. They are not saying YD is 0. They are saying when YD is 0, aggregate consumption is 0. Aggregate consumption is 100. That is, they are saying the autonomous consumption. Don't do other nonsense. Okay. So then 345 plus 0.9 into Y, 0.9 Y, 0.9 into 45 is a minus 45. Very satisfying when you have 345 and that minus 45 comes. So then you have 300 plus 0.9 Y is this. So then Y minus 0.9 Y is equal to 300. 0.1 Y equals 300. Y is equal to 300 divided by 0.1, that is equal to 3 out. So you can be very specific and say rupees billion. Right? So this is rupees in billion. So you can say 3000 billion rupees. That is your equilibrium level of national income. Just give the units up for even the previous questions. Can handle that for 2 marks. Okay. Questions like this are easy as it gets, okay? Then we'll do part B. What could be the equilibrium effect? What would be the effect on equilibrium national income if there is a simultaneous increase in government purchase and taxes by both 10 billion? What would happen, guys? You don't have to do calculations. You should know the theory behind this. What if they increase government spending and taxes both by the equal amount? What happens to your national income? What is this? Remember the balanced budget multiplier. So you can say, okay, when they increase government spending and taxes by the same amount, okay, this is what we refer to as a balanced budget. Okay, what is a balanced budget, guys? Where the taxes and the expenditure is the same. It's a balanced budget. So then you can say the balanced budget multiplier, okay, the balanced budget multiplier is equal to 1. That means if you increase government spending and taxes by the same amount, by 10 billion, what will happen? National income, right? National income will also increase by 10 billion. Yeah. So if I'm to show you a little bit in detail how that happens, can you guys help me calculate the government spending multiplier and the tax multiplier? They have given us MPC as 0.9. They've told MPC is 0.9. How much is my government expenditure multiplier then? 1 over 1 minus 0.9. How much do I get? My expenditure multiplier. Okay, expenditure multiplier is 10 times. How much is my tax multiplier? How do you find tax multiplier? Minus B over 1 minus B. So minus B is how much? 0 minus 0.9 divided by 1 minus B. 1 minus B is how much? 1 minus 0.9. Solve this. How much do we get, guys? 80. You should get a negative. Okay. So tax multiplier, when we solve this, you get a minus 9 times. So can you see? The balance budget multiplier is the combination of this and this. So 10 minus 9, the balance budget. Balance budget multiplier is 1. That's one way of getting that. Or even just practically think, if you increase taxes by 10 billion, sorry, increase government spending by 10, our KG is 10. So increase government spending by 10, national income will increase by 100. If you increase KT is minus 9, tax multiplier. If you increase taxes by 10, then what happens? If you increase taxes by 10, then national income will fall by 90. Then overall, what will happen if you increase both taxes and government spending by 10 and 10? National income will increase by 10 billion. That is the balanced budget multiplier story. Hope you all have gone through those areas. Okay, so with that, the 2019 question is also done. Can you see how easy the questions are getting now? They're asking you to draw a diagram. They're asking you to do some calculations. Very simple and easy questions. Done. Then